the amount my knee has progressed in the last week actually shocks me a little bit. I'm walking out playing golf now. In week 1, there's not a chance that I would have been able to do that. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. Got to the gym. Wasn't feeling going to the gym, to be honest. But obviously, we have to do things we don't want to do at times, and I'm quite good at doing things that I don't want to do. I got into the car, drove to the campus, said, look, just get into the session. It doesn't have to be the best session in the world, just do your best. That's kind of a mantra that I always use, is just do your best. Whatever best you have on that day, just give it a crack. In the back of my head, I kind of knew after I started and did the warm-up, I was like, I'm gonna hit another single leg counter movement jump PB here. And I did. I hit 16.5 centimeters on my affected leg. Now, my unaffected leg continues to rise as well. I hit 23.5 on that one. So I'm still inside 30% deficit there, but the major thing is like the affected leg, the operated leg is going up. I'm not so worried about the deficit because it will get closer as my function improves. So I've also ran the experiment of the ice bath and the sauna every day for the last week pretty much, and both seem to be correlated with positive recovery on my whoop, and I'm feeling a lot better. I have very much less swelling as well, which is obviously leading to better outcomes. So that's the trade-off, I suppose, with the ice if you're recovering from an injury. Like, people will say, oh no, I don't want to jump in the ice because it'll blunt my strength gains, it'll delay muscle protein synthesis, but like if it delays the inflammatory effect of the swelling, and that's what you're after, then that's probably as good a reason as any to hop in. My HRV has been correlated positively with the ice as well. I've got up to 6 minutes in there with my whole body in, which is great, and yeah, I'm feeling better for it. Today is a low session in the gym. I also have some work to do because I'm doing too much, basically. This is giving you an insight into business and growth and whatnot. I need to hire, and I have a guy ready to go on the hiring, but I want to have the systems in place for him when he comes in. I'm doing far too much delivery at the moment. So at the moment, I have 26 clients that I'm working with one-to-one. That was previously 35 in the months previous. And it's taking it out of me because it's too much delivery, plus all the content creation, acquisition, chatting to potential leads, new clients, onboarding, all that kind of crack. I need somebody to assist with that. So the plan is, because I have 2 models, I have my subscription model and then I have my premium service. Premium service clients will be working with me. I'll still be delivering because obviously I'm good at it. That's what's got me to this stage. But the subscription service, which is my middle tier kind of offer or service, that will be delivered by my new hire, with me overseeing everything, and then they can check in with me periodically if they want, and I'll still be doing obviously the in-person stuff, but it'll free me up more time in order to create some content for you guys for customer acquisition and to I suppose grow the brand, as well as give me some more time for podcasting, actually running the business side of things. And still, because I don't want to ever stop coaching, because I think you'd get out of touch if you did that, I'm still going to be delivering to those premium tier clients and still doing all my in-persons, as I said. So next step after that is probably getting somebody in from the admin side of things, but let's just focus on the new hire, the new coaching process first, and then we'll go from there. So all things progressing, I need a day off. So tomorrow, Sunday, will be a day off completely, and I need to golf. I really need to golf. I live right behind the golf course, as you know, or right in front of a golf course, and I haven't golfed since I got here. I brought the clubs over, and I need to get out there. So I'm going to try and get out there ASAP. But on the agenda today, gym, work. If I have space for some golf, we'll get some golf in. morning. How are you doing? I am out for my morning walk on the golf course. It is Monday morning. Yesterday was a day of rest, Sunday, so rest day. So yesterday what I did was not a whole pile really. I watched the hurling, which was absolutely insane. Tipperary and Limerick played out a draw. Cork and Clare also played out a draw. Both games just went either way so many times. Superb watch. And I went to play golf yesterday actually. Yesterday morning I got up quite early, went out to the golf course, and I spoke to the guy in the pro shop, and he was like, I asked him how much were green fees. He said 130 typically at this time of the season. I was like, 130, okay, wow. What time should I play? And he's like, are you on your own? He's like, yeah. I said, yeah. And he goes, just come back at twilight, and it's 57. And you'll be able to go out by yourself. You won't be held up by 4 balls and 3 balls. So I said, okay, no worries, I'll do that. It was actually meant to be 105 if you're staying on site, which I am. He told me that after. But he said, you're better off just coming back at twilight. So went back at twilight, walked the course, carrying the bag. First time I've done that actually since I tore my ACL. I only played 11 holes. I didn't play badly, really. I didn't play well. I chipped and putted decently, but course is like, some of the holes were hard. The worst I ended up with was a double, but I think I had 2 doubles, 3 doubles maybe in that 11 hole stretch, which is not amazing. And I only had 3 pars maybe, I think. 2 pars in the first 4 and then 1 other after that. So I was going to get tired carrying the bag, but nice to get out all the same. In regards to training and whatnot, I was reflecting at the weekend on the trip as a whole and how far I've come and what and all that jazz, and it's definitely been worthwhile. Like, my knee has progressed significantly in the fact that there's no way in week 1 when I came out would I have been able to walk a golf course with a golf bag on me. Now I had a few steps that probably with the bag on my shoulders that didn't feel amazing, but huge progression. My jumps are going up both sides, so I'm still within the 30% deficit range, so I think I'm about 28 or something like that. But like, I don't think Alan is too worried, and I'm not too worried either, because my left side jump is going up too. My nutrition and my diet has been A1, like as good as it probably can be, and that's definitely benefit me. Probably if I shedded a little bit of weight, body fat, then my jumps are going to go up as well. But even if I just maintain weight, continue to progress, then progress my strength and progress my reactivity, then it's going to happen as well. As well as that, then my recovery. So the sauna and the ice baths, from looking at my Whoop, have been a bit of a game changer in terms of recovery. So ice baths has been plus 5% recovery on average, I think, and the sauna has been plus 4% for me. So I'm definitely going to persist with both of those. My sleep, I probably could improve, but like, it's always going to be challenging in a new environment. And then last week, as you know, I was working quite late, so that probably affected it. Plus I stayed up to watch Manchester United midweek, which I never usually would do, but I just had a feeling it was going to be a good game. But yeah, I think it's been a fantastic decision to come out, focus on the rehab, give you guys some insight into what I've been doing, and it's an awesome facility out here in the campus. It's great to make use of it, and I'm feeling as good as I've probably felt all year, to be honest, from doing so. Sun is helping. It's been probably the chill time that I needed in terms of not as much time on feet coaching people and just taking some time to actually focus on my own rehab. So I'm going to attempt to get back to the pitch this week. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it goes well. If it doesn't go as well, then that's all good. But we just stick to the process, see if we can get into some linear work, get into some decel work. And then I have a couple of rest days this week, I think, going by Alan's programming. So on those rest days, I'm just going to prioritise getting in sauna, ice bath, getting out, vitamin D, sunshine. And I do want to get quite a lot of work done. but I'm probably going to be a little bit stricter in terms of my work hours this week to see how that benefits me in terms of my rehab. So today's session is either linear or decel. I'm not sure which. Might have to get clarification from Alan. I'll take you along to that, and hopefully you're enjoying seeing me out in the sunshine, living my best life. How are ye? What is the crack? I'm walking in off the golf course. It's just after 8:30, I think. I just came out here for a few holes, bit of practice. So practicing a few chips and a few 100-yard shots, and then hit a few off the tee as well. But nice to get out, to be honest. I haven't been chatting as much on here over the last couple of days. I've still been working, obviously. The rehab is going on. I've met some fantastic people as well, so I've been having good chats in the campus. And to be honest, just upon reflection, coming out here to try and get a move on this rehab, as well as take a step back from the in-person stuff which was causing a few flare-ups, is probably one of the best decisions that I've made in the last 12 months or a couple of years. The amount my knee has progressed in the last week actually shocks me a little bit. I'm walking out playing golf now. In week 1, there's not a chance that I would have been able to do that. Post-session, post any sort of lifting session. I'm getting my sessions in, I'm getting my recovery in, I'm eating well, I'm working hard, but I'm not doing a whole pile outside of those 3 things. And it really has been paying dividends in terms of how much I've progressed in. Probably really just seeing that huge progress in the last 3 to 4 days. But like, I'm starting to feel stronger and stronger. Knee is feeling better and better underneath me. And yeah, I'm just insanely positive about this whole thing. Grateful for the experience, grateful for the opportunity to come over and document this all for you guys as well, to show you exactly what I've been doing. But yeah, it's been a great decision, and hopefully one of many more great decisions coming in the near future. So just wanted to check in, let you guys know how things have been going. You'll have seen exactly what I've been doing in the gym anyway, minus a few bits obviously that I haven't been recording because much of it is repetitive, as you will know. Don't want to bore you with the same accessory sessions, the same heavy strength sessions, etc. But hopefully you're getting some insight into this. If you do have any questions around anything that I've been doing, drop a comment below. But other than that, on to tomorrow. Hello, how are ye? I am coming on. It is Wednesday evening, and I'm coming on to speak to you guys because I thought it was important to come on and speak to you guys, because today was not a great day. And not every day in rehab and return to play is going to be a great day. But I had quite a poor sleep last night. I was up a few times. A few factors to that. I got a bit sunburned yesterday. Other external life stressors as well that I was probably
thinking I was okay with, but were probably affecting me in terms of my stress level. Also, I did 2 quite high volume and quite high energy days back to back. So I was probably fairly exhausted, and that didn't help. My sleep hygiene was fine, but my sleep routine was off a little bit in that I went to bed a little bit later than I should have, and I didn't switch off from screens early enough. And that all culminated in today presenting with a little bit of anterior knee pain or patellar tendinopathy, which is normal for somebody that has had a patellar graft. And as Donny said, there's still tendon remodeling going on. I suffered from patellar tendinopathy for 15 to 18 months, longer probably, after my initial surgery, maybe going on 2 years. Actually, David Gray was the first person that really got a hold on it, and then running Jake Tura's program, the vertical jump protocol, was what completely eradicated it. So it's normal that I might be predisposed to experiencing a little bit of a tendinopathy, and it's normal, if I didn't sleep fantastically well, that I would present with a little bit of additional pain or additional symptoms today. Because tendon remodeling and collagen synthesis plus replacement of the collagen fibers in your tendon, that typically occurs when you're sleeping. So if your sleep has been impacted and hasn't been at the highest possible level that it could be, then there is potential that the same level of remodeling hasn't occurred. And then as a result of that, you may present with pain. The other thing is, if you sleep poorly, then your ability to tolerate pain is going to be down, as well as a ton of other metrics in terms of physical outputs. So my readiness to train probably wasn't where it needed to be today as well. So my jumps, my lifts were all slightly down, but they were all still above where they were when I first came out here. So even though it hasn't been a great day, it showed me that even on a day that potentially is not my best, I've raised the floor of my performance, so my worst possible performance, up a level. So now I'm hoping that when I am feeling really good, the ceiling will also have moved up a level too. And I know that that's the case because the jumps have been going up. And they weren't that far off today either. I just have a little bit more symptoms presenting. I also was in a rush today for a client call, so I didn't get to ice my leg. And I think I am figuring out that the ice bath is really a positive in terms of how it's correlated with my physical feelings after the session, as well as my symptoms of swelling, because there is a little bit of swelling and a little bit of heat coming from the front of the knee, but more so from the back of the knee at that hamstring insertion. The hamstring is stronger than it was previously, but it is not perfect, and nor should it be perfect. And something that I'd be telling myself as a bit of a mantra is, when you start this journey, did you think every single day was going to be a good day? And absolutely I did not. So you got to take the good with the bad. You just got to strive to address what the issue was, which was my sleep. So I'm going to prioritize getting a good night's sleep this evening. I didn't go practicing my golf this evening as well, which should hopefully help in terms of my overall activity levels being down slightly. I have a much needed rest day tomorrow. I'm going to get a bucket load of work done, and I'm going to strive to do better, I suppose, in the coming days, coming into the weekend, and continue to make some gains while I'm out here in the sun. Even if I'm not feeling great. What a great place to not feel great. 24-degree heat in the Algarve. So onwards to tomorrow, and yeah, rest day. Might check in with you guys again and have a chat with you tomorrow, or it may be Friday when I get through my accessory session. But either way, I will be chatting to you soon.
Good morning. It is Saturday, so I got back in the pitch this week, as you will see. I got back doing some accelerations yesterday for the first time ever. So week 19, we're back to maximal acceleration, and we threw in some sub-maximal decel in there too. And I was quite impressed or quite surprised with how I got on with both, actually. After the first acceleration, I felt pretty decent. Like, they looked decent as well, so Alan was happy with them, which is good. I got in and I did cold plunge afterwards, which I've found since being over here improves my symptoms the next day so that I can go and attack it again. I had to hold some isos prior to the session yesterday because my patella was a little bit sore at the start, but after holding the isos and doing a bit of a warm-up, that went away and I was able to get into it. So it shows for all you guys, if you do the right things, then there is no reason you can't get back to maximally sprinting or accelerating inside 5 months. Yeah, week 19. So I'm going over to see Alan in a couple of weeks for our in-house residential, but we're going to start building more of the change of direction type movement skills, I would say, in the next couple of weeks before I get over there. So that's all positive. I've been absolutely flat out. Yesterday was programming as well as multiple client calls and potential new client calls, as well as check-ins with a number of rehabbing athletes that are currently in the group and require a little bit more direction. And then, as always, the mentorship group had our call yesterday too. So today is a Saturday that I will have some gym work to do. I think it's a loading day, so we're going to be doing some jumps again as well. But I also have a fair bit of work to do because I have to prepare week 11 of the mentorship's content for next week, which is building a brand and business skills. So it's not something that was in the previous mentorship, but it was something that the previous mentorship's cohort asked about, if I could put some content into the mentorship around that topic. So I set to writing that at the back end of last week, and it's a big one. There's a lot in it. I can see how other coaches transition into full-time business coaching because there's so much content. There's so many systems that need to be extrapolated out and explained to people. But I didn't want my mentorship to be just like any other mentorship that say that they're going to get you from this income to the next income, and we're going to show you how to build a business and all this kind of crack. Like, as I've spoken about before, your product and service is number one. If your product and service is poor, you might be able to get people into the business, but they're going to leave pretty soon after getting in there too. And you're going to have negative word of mouth, so you're going to get less people in time. Whereas if you actually just focus on learning how to coach well, understanding systems and processes of coaching, performance, rehab, strength and conditioning, as well as building your system to a good level, you have a fantastic product or service. You have an offer that essentially they will feel silly turning down. You want to make them an offer they can't refuse, as the Godfather would say. But yeah, make them an offer so good that it sounds too good to be true, and then deliver on it or over deliver on it. And if you do that, then people will come through regularly to you, regardless of how fantastic a business guru you are, how fantastic you are at the business and operations side of things. Don't get me wrong, business and operations are important, but if you're a coach, the most important thing is that you can coach. And I think a lot of Gen Zers think that, okay, I need to make money, I need to get better at business, whereas realistically they haven't coached anyone. They haven't understood how to coach somebody. They don't understand biomechanics, what they should be looking for. They don't understand people either. Like, you have to understand people and how to communicate. That's number one. So yeah, so I didn't want it to be everything in the mentorship. So like last week was return to play progression for team sport athletes. The week before that was injuries and rehab. Why do injuries occur? And what can we do to get people back, I suppose, to their best? And we had coaching game speed before that. And then we've had a number of modules on coaching speed, coaching S&C within the gym for team sport athletes. Our next one is testing, monitoring and improving year on year. So it's generally practical, but this module is going to be more into the business side of things, which I am actually passionate about as well, and I do enjoy it. I also have 3 programs to write. One for an athlete that's returning after a couple of years, and 2 for current athletes. One who is a hamstring tendon tear, so a grade 2C hamstring rupture or tear, not full rupture obviously. He got back on the pitch during the week, so he got back with the team during the week after extensive linear speed development, change of direction and strength development as well obviously. So that's a big milestone, so I'm going to program for him his transition back into team sessions for the next 2 weeks and potentially back into match play. It's been a worthwhile trip in terms of, I think I've pushed everything forward in terms of business, in terms of myself, in terms of my athleticism, my physical function, my health, the whole lot. My last Sunday here, the reason I came out here was to focus in on business stuff, to work hard in the gym, to go a little bit more aggressive with my knee rehab and progress it hopefully to a sufficient level. Yesterday, I achieved that to an extent. I'm still inside the 30% deficit of single leg CMJ, so I hit an 18 centimeter right-legged one yesterday, but my left is going up as well, so I hit 25 on the left, 25.5 or something, and my RSI is coming up gradually or more gradually, but I've learned a bit as well in regards to what helps my knee the next day and helps progress, and I think that's going to be ice, potentially sauna in the future. In terms of recovery, seems to be working well. But I said I'd come on to talk today about something a little bit deeper and probably not as positive. The reason I'm ready to go home is, as happens in all rehabs, I'm absolutely sick of the rehab at this stage. This happens with my clients, and it's my job to try to help them along, help them to see the goals that they are achieving, and then deload them if necessary from time to time as well. Rehab is isolating. I spoke about this at the very start, and I speak about it all the time on podcasts and whatnot. It's an isolating process. It's kind of a lonely process at times, and you have to dedicate a lot of time to it if you want to be successful. And that time dedicated to it is time away from other endeavours and other things that you enjoy. And like, it's no secret, I've spoken about it many times, that I have went through episodes of depression in the past and periods where I've expressed or experienced depressive symptoms, and even been diagnosed a couple of times as well with clinical depression. And I've come through them the other side, but that still means I know that I am a little bit predisposed to thinking in that thought pattern or going down that negative feedback loop and negative rabbit hole or negative pattern of thinking at times. And I know simply why I've been probably feeling a little bit low in the last couple of days and a little bit lonely. And it is that I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling isolated, and my work life has been quite intense. There's a lot of work there. It doesn't seem to be clearing, which is a good thing, but it just showed me over the last while that it is time that I get some other people into the business to assist, because people are realising that I'm a really good coach, as I am as well, and they want to work with me. So the only thing limiting me working with more people and helping more people in the future is my own time and my own energy. And that's kind of being spent quite a bit at the moment in terms of the time I'm dedicating to rehab and recovery and the time I'm dedicating to the business. And then what I'm missing at the moment is I'm missing any sort of social connection. I had a couple of friends that were meant to come out and spend some time here with me over the last 3 weeks, but both of them were unable to come, unfortunately, as a result of last minute things that just happened. And that is what it is, but I know that the only interaction I've been having with people generally has been in the sauna with strangers and kind of casual chats. I haven't met up with family or seen close friends obviously in quite a long time, and that's why I came out here. But that just is telling me that it is time to go home and dedicate a little bit more of my time to my social connections and to what I'm doing outside of rehab training and my work. And I'm in a lucky position, I suppose, where I'm self-aware enough to realise what is missing. And typically I know that if my work is intense, there's quite a high workload, I'm not spending time for myself, I'm not setting clear boundaries with my clients, and I'm not getting out on the golf course doing anything for me, and I'm training quite hard as well. Plus I'm missing huge social connection, and I'm not socialising at all. I know that I tend to feel like this, so I know what the risk factors are, but that doesn't mean that I've been able to avoid them, obviously being in a country by myself where I don't really know anyone. So yeah, I just said I'd come on and share that it's not all positive all the time. And like, even for me, somebody working in rehab, the rehab process is taxing, it's tiring, it's mentally draining, it's tough, but that's the way it is for everybody, I would say. It's not simple for anybody, and just because it is that way doesn't mean you can't get through it. And it's about realising, I suppose, what is priority at the moment. And priority for me was coming out, progressing the rehab and progressing the business, and I feel like I've done that. And when I go home for the rest of the quarter, there might be other priorities. But it's up to me to kind of set those priorities and set up my life so that I can live to fulfill or live those priorities to the max, I suppose. And that's what I'm going to do. I think we often share all of the good bits on social media, as I on these vlogs as well, but it's not all good all the time. There are challenges for everybody. So if you're going through challenges right now, know that you're not the only one going through them. And the number one thing as well will always come down to reaching out to people. And that doesn't necessarily always mean reaching out to practitioners and professionals. Sometimes it can, but it's reach out to your friends or your family, have a chat. Just in some cases, just a chat is good enough. It doesn't need to be about anything specific, but in other cases, maybe let them know how you're feeling and see if they can offer any advice, or just lend an ear, and hopefully you'll feel a lot better afterwards. But yeah, it has been very positive up to this point, even winning in the last couple of days with progressions in terms of my knee function, my feeling, my health. But that doesn't mean that all aspects of your life are in sync or in tandem or always progressing. So the physical, the biological is in sync, but unfortunately the psychological and the social have taken a hit for now. So maybe it's now time in the next month or so to have a little bit more of a focus on the social and the psychological. But anyway, I'll take you into the rest of the week. This is a weird one to be jumping on with. It is 5 to 1 on Monday, and there is a nationwide blackout here in Portugal as well as in Spain and in part of France as well. So I'm absolutely stranded. Can't get the car out to go to the campus. Can't do any work online, obviously, because there's no internet connection. And yeah, I'm just stuck. So I am going for a walk. I called the centre for all this place. I'm going to go call them again, but hopefully they should be able to open the electric fence, because that's the issue. Is there's loads of people parked up there wanting to leave because we've no electricity, but it's an electric fence and it won't open, obviously. So we're just stranded. Now there should be a way to open it, but it doesn't seem like they have much urgency to get it open, which is unfortunate. In other news, I'm after getting the inside scoop on a big story that's going to break probably, I would say, in the next week, surrounding the GAA and how they treat their members and their players. But I'm not going to say much about that because I don't want to. I don't think I have the right to say much about that. Other than that, yeah, the knee has been progressing quite a lot. As I said, I'm kind of sick of the rehab, but like I'm nearing the end of it as well, I think, because my function has improved the next day after training now, or even in the evenings. It's no longer sore in the evening. There's no like swelling or no additional issues presenting. My recovery has been quite good, and my recoverability has been quite good in general. So I would say we're on an upward trend. This just proves to me as well that if the business is going to succeed longer term, we need to have multiple people in the business working, because at the moment I can't do anything. So the business has come to a complete stop, complete halt, and I'm going to have a backup of work towards the end of the week. Whereas if I had somebody working in the business in a different location, more than likely, probably Ireland, they could do and manage all the business stuff, and the business would still be running even if I'm not doing anything. So that's for the future. This is a lesson to be learned as well. And some lessons are learned hard, but it's not the end of the world. Be grand. It's still sunny, quite windy as you can see, but I get out for my walk and I'll just hope that they can open that gate pronto. How are you? What's the story? This is hilarious, right? So, power has been out all day. It was cut off from the Iberian Peninsula and other parts of Europe as well. So Spain and Portugal, no power whatsoever. Initially, I was getting a little bit frustrated because we have an electric gate, as I said, and I couldn't get out. But I saw the funny side in it, and I just said, look, I'm going to go golfing. So I went up to the golf course to do a bit of chipping and putting. They closed the driving range because the ball retriever and the ball giver outer, or whatever it's called, are both electronic, so they couldn't work. They couldn't get balls out. I would have just left balls there for people to hit, but they obviously didn't want to clean them up, and the retriever probably would have ran out of power, so they just left it. There was a load of people out golfing, and they were coming in off the course, and I knew more than them, so I actually was the only person around that had any bars of coverage, and I'm grateful that I got to ring my mum to let her know what was happening, that I was okay and everything. But yeah, I was able to get coverage because I had my 2 Irish phones, so that was lucky. But I was sitting down and there was a Irish lad sitting beside me, and I was just flicking on my phone because I had coverage, trying to contact people and let people know I was okay and whatnot, and see what was going on Twitter. And then somebody started talking to this Irish guy whose name was Robbie, and they said, are you going out? He's like, well, I'm meant to be going out with my friend so-and-so, but I think he's down in Cartera and he has an electric gate to where he's staying, so he can't get out, so I can't contact him because I have no coverage. But I'm meant to be going out at 3:45, so I'd probably go out anyway. And then I was sitting right beside him and I was just like, here man, did you just say you're going out? What time are you going at? And he was like, blah blah, 3:45. And I said, well, like, I have nothing to do. If your mate isn't showing up, I'll just go out with you. So the 2 of us went out. We just met each other. And we, like, guys are so weird, I know, but it's great that you can just be friends so quickly. And we went out, we played 16 holes. I was knackered because I'd been on the putting green for an hour and a half prior to that. So I didn't play great, but like, it was a great way to pass the time. We didn't know what was going on in the outside world, so we were just chatting about rubbish really, and chatting about golf, and joking about everything that was going on. I know it's probably quite serious, but we might as well laugh about it. Then I came back after the 16th hole because it was easier to come back from the 16th than play the whole 18, and same for him because he didn't drive to the course, so he got a lift, so he was stranded, so he had to walk with his bag and his buggy home as well, which is pretty hilarious. So I came back to the gaff then. There was no one really around. They had opened the electric gate, so somebody finally came with a key and opened it, so I was able to get out. I hopped in the car. Well, first I went to have a shower, but there's no running water whatsoever. So I said, right, I'll go for a dip in the sea. So I hopped into the car and drove down to the beach, and there was a ton of people there, all scrambling to get water and whatnot. A few people just out having beers as well and just sitting out and admiring the sunset. And I was just laughing, like, how the universe has a way of telling you to slow down a little bit and not be so chronically online. I have absolutely no cash, so all I have is the food that's in the place, and I have some milk, thank God, so I won't be as parched as I was in the golf course. And there's no light, obviously. It's just after sunset here, so I am making my dinner on the balcony because it's the only place with decent light. And I just said I'd fill you in. I did get my rehab done today, obviously, but sometimes shit happens and you can't plan for it, and it is what it is. Hopefully, once I wake up at about 7 o'clock in the morning, everything will be back to normal. Otherwise, I'll be a little bit concerned about my flight on Wednesday. but we can't control any of that stuff. So I'm just going to enjoy this dinner. I have a little bit of charge left in my speaker, so I'll listen to some music tonight. I'll see if anybody has any candles around here and see if I can get a candle to get some light to read a book. And then I'll just have an early night. Not the worst day in the world, despite the fact that we can't be online. And it just shows you how reliant we are on technology as well, that everything comes to a standstill when it falters. But yes, hopefully this vlog will get out and it's not the end of the world, and I'll see you all on the other side.